You are looking live at a sold-out The Hunting Grounds in Seattle, Washington, as the Seattle Pirates play host to the Houston Hyenas on this Saturday afternoon edition of the SFL Week 12. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Colin Northrup, alongside my analyst, Rick Northrup.
Good afternoon in the East. Good morning in the West.
Mike and Proda on stats. As you take a look at the numbers on your screen, as you can tell by the record, this season hasn't gone nearly as planned for both of these teams, but they're looking to finish strong.
I think both teams want to have a good showing today and keep building on end of the season development so they can set themselves up for next season.
Houston calls the toss of the coin, and it is tails, so Seattle will elect to kick off first. So we'll see their defense. We'll see Kentez Johnson on the field for the Hyenas. Taking a look at Houston's numbers from a year ago in terms of offensive yards. Points per game is down. Passing yards is slightly improved. But Whistle Jones is ready to kick things off for Seattle.
Here we go. Welcome to Saturday.
Let's start Week 12. Kickoff is away to Leroy Brown, who spins up the middle of the field and gets knocked down at the 27.
Leroy Brown had a moment of daylight there, Colin, and they were lucky to close that hole off and prevent an even bigger return.
For the Hyenas on offense, quarterback number 5, Kentez Johnson. Running back number 21, Warren Murray. Wide receivers are Leroy Brown, D.R. Sim, Brian Harrell. The tight end is Dak Lewis, and the guard is Alistair Johnson. Kentez will throw it out to the fullback signed Week 11, Jack Sims, who gets tackled at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Second down.
Not a bad play to open it up, and but well covered by the D. The D is he's got some room to run, but they close that gap quickly, shut him down basically at the line of scrimmage.
We'll get to the Seattle defense in a moment after this play. Back to throw Johnson down the field. It's caught, and running down the field is Brian Harrell. 10-5 touchdown Houston. In three plays. Two plays they score.
This is how we do it. This is how we do it. Unbelievable. You know what he did, Colin? He broke the plane. The plane.
A long touchdown pass. Harrell from Johnson.
Nobody expects the streak down the middle on the second play, I guess.
A 72-yard touchdown pass. On the second play from scrimmage of the game.
Well, that's a shocker.
And Jaquan Colgate on to try the extra point.
Brush your teeth, boys and girls.
And it is good. So with 10:16 to go in the first quarter, Houston strikes quickly out to a 7-0 lead.
Well, let's tee it up and start it all over again here, Colin. I guess we'll go.
Colgate to kick it off. Nick Castle waiting back deep for Seattle, and Castle will field this around his 10-yard line, cutting up field, and he'll get knocked down at the 27. Tyrants will take over 1st and 10.
I guess you'll reset the Tyrant, or you'll set up the Tyrant offense now instead of the Tyrant defense. Your call of the Tyrant defense was abrogated by the long play.
Jacques Luyendula is the quarterback for Seattle, number 11. Zach Sandlin, he has over 1,400 yards rushing. He's the tailback. Wide receivers are Mason Kirby, Junior Senior the third, and Nick Castle. Tristan Carter is the tight end. Luyendula fires it out, completes to Mason Kirby, who spins upfield, picks up about 9.5 yards, close to 10. It'll be second and inches.
And that's a really good get started play for the Tyrants, and I'm sure we'll get around to commenting on their uniform. Big T caught my eye on the helmet.
4 wide receivers for Seattle. Zach Sandlin, the single back. Second down and less than a yard. Up the middle they go to Sandlin. He picks up the first down and plenty more to his own 44. For the Houston Hyenas, up front they have defensive ends Chris Joseph and Skylar Kingsley. Defensive tackle Mike Fats Johnson. Rodney Panani is the inside linebacker. Angel Salinas is the outside, and Alex Perez is the other linebacker. Is Sandlin. Carries it up the middle and picks up 5 yards on the play. Tackle made by Jacob Clear, the cornerback, number 33. Ethan Kai, the strong safety, number 31. Joining Clear and Kai in the defensive secondary is Everett Garrison. Brady Clark is the free safety. And the other strong safety is Kai Cash, number 27. Seattle is under center, 2nd and 5. Luyendula fires it out to the man of many suffixes, junior, senior, the third, who gets out of bounds at the Houston 44.
That's just a great name.
Ismael Sanchez is the other defensive tackle next to Fats Johnson, and Nathan Barrett backs up Brady Clark, number 32. Luyendula back to throw, fires down the field, and got a man wide open. For a big play down the middle, that's Mason Kirby to the Houston 13.
That's what we like to see. Anything you can do, I can do. There's a long pass over the middle. Puts them in position. I got to tell you, Colin, I'm impressed with the Tyrants' sort of composure here after they get punched in the mouth a little bit on the second play of the game. They're working their plan, working their offense, and now they put themselves in a position to garner some points.
Luyendula up under center now. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the bottom. Here's to get to Zach Sandlin. Sandlin fires up the middle and picks up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
You know, Luyendula is going to have to up his game awareness. He had his wideout on the left side of his formation. They were playing zone, and they were way off. He could have checked into something on a slant.
15 yards on 3 carries for Sandlin so far. Here's his 4th carry, and he's stopped in the backfield for a loss of 1. Tackle made by Skylar Kingsley, the rookie free agent sighting.
Same thing there. I don't know that Houston's in the right defensive alignment or arrangement, but Seattle's not taking advantage of it, handing the ball off up the middle twice in a row.
3rd down and 8. Tyrants on the air come in, converting 47% on 3rd down. Houston gives up 48% on 3rd down. Luyendula fires on the middle. It is caught, but 2 yards short of marker. Nick Castle on the reception.
Handy little catch, but it's not going to get the job done in terms of moving the sticks or producing points on that play. They'll line up for a field goal attempt here.
And the rookie Whistle Jones. He's a large man, 6'1", 260 pounds. Is a place kicker. That's more like a offensive tackle. And this 22-yard kick by Jones is up and through. So with 6:25 left, Seattle Tyrants drive down and get 3 points to make it a 7-3 ball game in favor of Houston.
Well, they kind of get themselves back in the game, as amazingly as it is here in the early going. And we'll talk about the Rick meter. The Rick meter is in the house, and the diesel engine is fired up. And carefully watching this, but it's thinking about leaning Houston. We'll have to see how they do in this possession.
Leroy Brown returns it up to the 22. That was a 9-play, 66-yard drive culminating in its 22-yard field goal.
Thank you, Mike and Proda.
For the Houston Hyenas, they had a 2-play, 72-yard drive It was a Kentez Johnson touchdown pass to Brian Harrell. First and 10 for Houston on their own 22-yard line. Johnson in the I formation has Murray, the deep back, takes a 7-step drop, fires down the middle of the field. Why not? And oh, this time it's knocked away. Mahmoud Ajalani knocked that away. Free safety. Number 29. We'll get to the rest of his defensive mates in just a moment. There's DR Sim, Hall of Fame wide receiver for these Hyenas. This is a lone wide receiver as they go 2 tight ends, a balanced line. Johnson again to throw. This time he flares it out to Murray. Murray ran over 2 people and he picks up 8 yards on the play, and Johnson already up to 80 yards. Thanks to that one passing touchdown.
Lays a good foundation for a solid day of stats for him.
3rd down and 2 for Houston. They convert 46% on 3rd down coming into the day, and they will not pick it up here. I thought they would, but Warren Murray stopped inches short by Slim Shady, the linebacker, number 99. And not willing to risk the challenge is Coach Damon Simeon. He sends his punt team on the field.
Interesting factoid about Damon Simeon today, Colin. Get to that in a moment.
Adams kicks it away. Castle waiting back deep. And Kai Cash is down there on special teams. Tackles him at the 31. Jacques Louis-Dilla under center, 1st and 10. Surveying the defense out of an offset I formation. 2 wide receivers, 1 to either side. He drops back to throw, throws it out to Ripper Concordia, the fullback, and Ripper will pick up 5 yards to the 36.
Ripper. Love that.
No, that is Dan Salinas, the fullback.
Oh.
Not Ripper Concordia. I'm mistaken.
Boy Wonder made a mistake. What? Mark that down.
Louis do a quick drop back, throws it out to Sandlin. Sandlin ran over 1 man for down and takes out a second as he gets shoved out of bounds at his own 42.
Yes, he did.
Chuck Louis-Dilla is a perfect 6 for 6. He's yet to throw an incompletion. Here he is by himself in the shotgun. 3 wide receivers. Louis-Dilla back to throw, fires it out, complete for a 1st down to Mason Kirby at the Houston 46.
Once again, the Rick meter's taking notice of Seattle's composure. Got to be quietly feeling positive about this if they can continue just to work their offense and move the chains, Colin.
2 tight ends, a balanced line, offset back to the right to Sandlin. He gets the carry on a trap up the middle, explodes through the hole, breaking 1 tackle and nearly carrying another to the 1st down marker. He picked up 9.
Well executed trap play, good blocking up front, and then some tough sledding right there as he drags a couple people for an extra yard or 2.
Update from the Baltimore-New Orleans game. Vultures in front 14-0 at the Pharaohs with 9:29 left in the 1st quarter. Zach Sandlin gets another carry, picks up a 1st down, a lot more, has blocked 20, 10, 5, and he scores, touchdown Seattle. Zach Sandlin explodes and the Tyrants are in front. What a run by Sandlin. We're going to let her look at it here. Just perfectly blocked so much as he wasn't touched. Great block from Mason Kirby there. And Everett Garrison can't slow him down.
And the Fashion Police will take note of the old school neck roll that he sports.
Whistle Jones on for the extra point attempt.
You know, it's Sebastian Janikowski. That's what he's doing there with his weight and kicking prowess. Am I right? Nothing?
Yep, you are correct.
Thank you.
As Whistle Jones' extra point is up good. So with 3:20 left in the first, Seattle now leads 10-7 on the touchdown run by Zach Sandlin.
This just in from the Rick meter. The Rick meter is now leaning Seattle. Rick meter is impressed with two nice possessions and drives by Seattle, and unimpressed with Hyenas stalling out on their second drive.
5-play, 71-yard drive, 37-yard touchdown run by Zach Sandlin to put the Tires out in front by 3, 10-7. Leroy Brown on the return gets it up to his own 26. And to touch on the earlier point that Rick was mentioning with Demond Simeon, his spouse had a baby. And he's been in the hospital all week due to the ongoing situation surrounding COVID. Congratulations, Demond.
Exactly. Proud new papa, and in lockdown with his wife and new baby. Couldn't be that bad.
Johnson down the middle. Oh, I thought that was going to be caught. But the doctor dropped that one.
Oh.
Iverson Gamble on the coverage. He's at corner. Razor is the other one. Linebackers, we already mentioned Slim Shady. E.K. Vincent is with him. And up front for Seattle, they have two defensive ends, Juke and Rukin, Ghibli-Doo, and Denzel Maverick is the defensive tackle, along with Ace Finnick.
Ace Finnick. Hey, he owes me money.
2nd and 10, Johnson. Down the middle, complete. That is Brian Harrell, and he'll set up a 3rd and 2, his second catch. He's now up to 80 yards, helped, of course, by that 72-yard touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, just crosses in front of the retreating coverage man. Pitch and catch brings up 3rd and short.
The other defensive backs for Seattle, Kane Vasquez is the strong safety, number 43. We already saw Mahmoud Ajalani, but they also have Pete Mitchell. As Johnson fires it out to Murray, and Murray picks up a first down on the swing pass of about 4 yards. Slim Shady on the tackle.
And the Hyena faithful is quietly grinning as they now are progressing the ball downfield. Let's see if they can get out into over into the plus side of the field, Colin.
Let's see if they can. They have two wide receivers at the top of the formation, two tight ends on the same side. Murray gets the handoff and stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, there's the alarm bell. Well, thank Mike and Prota again for running stats for us. Thank you so much.
First carry today for Murray. It'll be a 2nd and 10 situation. 3 wide receivers, Sim in the slot. Here they try again with Murray, and Murray has to slog through traffic and picks up 3 yards for his troubles, setting up a 3rd and 7. Of course, this Hyena team is no stranger to being down. They were down 17-0 last week in London, came back to win by 1.
The narrowest margins of victory. That one.
Johnson in the gun will fire down the middle. One-handed catch is good enough for first down. That's bad Leroy Brown.
He knows what's what as he moves the sticks for them.
Now the Hyenas go 4 wide receivers. Here's Warren Murray on the carry. Has to break a tackle on the backfield. Breaks his second one. Picks up a first down. Murray with some hard running to the 39. This stiff arm of Kane Vasquez, just absolutely silly.
I want to remind everybody to visit sector6apparel.com for all league and team apparel, including hoodies, t-shirts, team jerseys, and more. Sector 6, the official apparel provider of the SFL.
Johnson under center has 3 wide. Dax Lewis in at tight end. Here they run the stretch play again with Murray, but this time it's well read. Gibley Dew, the defensive end, number 95. He's 6'6", 306, came over in the offseason from Tulsa, just beats his man, and knocks Murray back for a few-yard loss. Update from Baltimore-New Orleans game. The Vultures are in front 17-0 with 5:23 left in the first quarter.
Those dirty birds.
And Johnson, down he goes. Sacked by Gibley Dew all the way back near midfield, and that's the end of the first quarter. Seattle in front 10-7.
You're watching. Why is the cough button not always on?
You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch.tv. And the Houston Hyenas coming out on the field to start the second quarter, facing a 3rd and forever. 3rd and 19 on the Tyrant 48-yard line. Johnson under pressure, down he goes again.
How many sacks have they taken, Colin? I have to get a number on that.
By my count was 2, and that time it was Denzel Maverick.
2? Seems like more.
And they'll have to punt this from their own 45. Adams kicks it away. And the return is up to the 27.
I want to thank everybody for watching today's SFL action. We're in the booth with Colin, the talent, play-by-play man, and your humble color guy, a poor man's Dandy Down marathon man, Rick Northrup.
Bunch formation to the top for Seattle. With a 3-point lead, they got a touchdown from Zach Sandlin. As the throw goes out to junior senior, the 30 breaks the tackle and goes out to the 39. For Luyendula, he's finding a bit of a rhythm. He's now 8 of 8 for 89 yards. There's Zach Sandlin, 7 carries for 66 yards, 9.4 yard average. Good balance from Seattle so far. We do a back to throw for the 9th time, but down he goes. 3-yard loss. And that was Ismael Sanchez.
That was never a good time for a sack, but on first down, it's all right. Still get a couple more plays to try and move the chains. The Hyena defense is maybe figuring it out a little bit.
Now Tyrants go 4 wide. We haven't heard from Tristan Carr yet. This is a Zach Sandlin run that will lose. It'll be 3rd and 14. Kingsley on the TFL.
For those of you just new to football, that's tackle for loss. Not to be confused with TOP, time of possession.
3rd down and 14. Luyendula in the gun by himself. He's back to throw. Fires down the middle. And Tristan Carr dropped the ball. Luyendula wants a flag, but he's not going to get it. Would have been short of the mark anyway. And Seattle will be forced to punt.
Oh, good job, Hyena D, to stiffen there. They took advantage of that sack on first down. It's just too tall of an order for your Seattle Pirates.
Geronimo Coffins to kick off the Leroy Brown. Coffins is standing at his own 20-yard line. Punts away. Brown fields it. Makes a couple men miss with a juke and a spin and gets knocked down at his own 38. Brown looked like he had an opening for a moment, but it closed quickly.
They sure did. That was potentially an exciting play.
Tyrant defense back on the field. They forced a couple of Houston punts. Pressure played a big role in getting the last 3 and out. See if they can protect Johnson. He's in the split shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 1 man to either side. Johnson back to throw, fires down the middle of the field, knocked down by Mahmoud Ashalani. Pass intended for Harrell, 2nd and 10. Looked like he had Sim open there, Rick.
He did, and that pass was just a little flat, if you will, and had a chance to be intercepted. But they live to fight another down.
Warren Murray is the single back. They go with 3 wide receivers. Dak Lewis is the tight end. Offside, free play. Warren Murray. He'll be slugging through, and he picks up about 6 or 7 yards. Let's see what they do here.
They should decline the penalty. But we'll see.
Number 60, defense. The penalty.
Let's see, Juke and Rukin trying to get a little head start on a play, but when you're 320 pounds, you know, it's kind of hard to hide.
You get that. Well, and you get that twitch and you jump. Body in motion tends to stay in motion, and when you've got that much body, it's hard to slow that puppy down.
2nd down and 2. Johnson fires. He's got Harrell for the first down. Up over the 45 to the 50.
Somebody ran over the back judge there, too, as part of the process.
Harrell now with 3 catches for 91 yards. As we get a look at that pass, it fit right in there between his own Slint Shady, delivering the blow.
For those of you with referee issues, it was either the slot man or the end going out in a pattern that just ran right over the back judge.
Split back formation. Johnson takes a 6-step drop, fires to the sideline. DR Sim. And they'll call him out of bounds. 2nd and 10.
Not going to happen. Won't be prudent.
Johnson so far is 7 of 11 for 100 and a touchdown.
You say 7 of 11? I haven't had a Slurpee in forever.
2nd down and 10. Johnson in the empty shotgun by himself. Trips to the bottom. He's back to throw. Throws it to Sims' direction again. This time he makes the catch in bounds and turns upfield for a gain of 6.
Can you imagine that huddle? We're running the same thing, and let's not throw it out of bounds. Throw it where I can catch it, says the doctor.
That's his first catch of the day. Sim had 4 targets previous to that.
Is it now?
Dax Lewis hasn't been thrown to yet, but it's still early in the game. 3rd down and 4. Johnson. Slick cut, knocked down.
That was ill-advised. I'm just going to leave that one.
That was thrown into traffic, and Mahmoud Ajlan read that beautifully. That was the all slants play. You see that a lot here in the Simulation Football League. Well defended that time by Seattle. And yet another punt for Adams. For Houston, this will be punt number 3. Adams will angle it. Ooh. Inside the 5 to the 3. Brilliant piece of punting. by Brian Adams there. And
Well,
Seattle has a long way to go.
well done, sir. Despite the excellent punt execution of that punt, the Rick meter is still resigning itself to leaning tyrants, and not because it doesn't like the tyrants, just Rick meter likes some action.
James D. Salinas is the fullback in front of Sandlin. Sandlin, second man through, broke a tackle, and he picked up 9 yards. Welcome in, Andy Hamilton, owner of the Vancouver Legion. Glad you could join us here, Andy.
Indeed, Mr. Hamilton, congratulations on stellar season so far for your Vancouver Legion.
High formation, second down and 1. They give to Sandlin one more time, but
Oop.
this time Houston's ready for it. Stops him in the backfield for a loss of 2. That was Angel Salinas, who spent some time as a midseason acquisition for Seattle last year. Decided to take a higher paying position with the Hyenas this year, so he's tackling a former teammate.
There we go.
Third down and 3 from the 10-yard line. Jacques Louis-Ndula turns, gives to Zach Sandlin. Sandlin has the first down. Up over the 15 to the 19-yard line. Ethan Kai on the tackle. Again, that's that trap that Seattle likes to run so much. And Brady Clark and Ethan Kai had to ride them down together.
And it's working today, that trap is, and you'd think Houston might be a little more ready for it. Maybe they'll gain some muscle memory as the game goes.
Tristan Carr, the trash man, flexed out as the third wide receiver. Instead, it's a Sandlin handoff who broke a tackle and picked up 4 yards. I tell you, Zach is showing everybody why he was league MVP in his rookie season.
Yeah.
It's still an amazing thing to think about. Split shotgun look for Louis-Ndula. 2 receivers to the bottom. Your screen. Pump fake by Louis-Ndula. Fired down the middle of the field. Oh, that could have been real. Tristan Carr, the intended receiver.
That was a well-defended play, Colin, and Louis-Ndula really wanted it. He pumps to try and get him open. He's not really open. He throws it anyway, and lucky that wasn't a bad outcome. I was going to say they recovered from that excellent punt by the Hyenas as they get the ball out over the 20, but they don't want to stall out here.
They don't indeed. Louis-Ndula to throw. Sideline pattern. Kirby has to turn upfield. No, they said he didn't get the first down. It's inches short.
Oh, and it was there for the taking. That's just a good old-fashioned execution muck-up there, Colin. He had the ball in space, in bounds, couldn't keep himself in bounds.
There's Mason Kirby. Time to think about that. As it's now 24-7, the Baltimore Vultures lead over the New Orleans Pharaohs with 10:40 left in the first half of that game. Meanwhile, Seattle kicks to Houston, and Leroy Brown broke a tackle with a spin, but couldn't break away from 2 more. It's put down in his own 35, 5:13 to go in the first half of this game. Fire Dog says, I'm here for the Improda Mad. Yes, Mike Improda is our statistician today. Always enjoy having Mikey with us
I'm not even sure what that means, but it makes me giggle.
in the stats truck. 1st and 10 for Houston. Warren Murray on the carry. Murray has some room, and he picks up 6 yards to the 41. 26 yards and 7 carries for Murray. Johnson now 8 of 13, 117 yards.
That's 26 yards on 7 carries. You said that's
Yep.
26 yards the hard way.
Again, they come out in the same formation. D.R. Sin, the only wide receiver, to the top of the screen. Murray will get stopped on the line of scrimmage for no gain. Denzel Maverick on the tackle. His second of the day.
Hey, for those of you viewing for the first time, what are you watching? Simulation Football League is the first controllerless esport, allowing you, the viewer, to participate in all the action on the field without a controller in your hands. Visit simulation.football for details on how to get started with a team and in the league.
3rd down 4. Murray on another carry, broke a tackle and picked up the first down the hard way.
Lots of carries, not very many yards.
This guy, he's a tough customer. 6'2", 230 pounds. His 5th year as a Hyena. And Houston going a little 3-man back set. Wiggins, the other tight end, next to Sims, the fullback. Johnson turns, gives to Murray. Murray has to fight through traffic and picks up 9 yards before he's tackled.
The Tyrants are like, what was that, Dennis Green? We had him, and then we lost him. Looked like they were going to bottle him up around the line of scrimmage. He breaks through, brings up 2nd and short.
Murray offset to the right side. Johnson will throw out to Murray, but that was too far.
What's Murray doing?
They'd lost a yard. I think Johnson waited perhaps a beat too long.
Well, and Murray needs to stop. There's nobody around. He doesn't have to put a move on anybody or gain separation. He needs to plant himself a couple of yards away from the sideline, Colin.
3rd down and 2 for Houston. 3 of 7 is the Hyenas on 3rd down. They need this here if they want to get points on this drive. Deep to Dax Lewis, who makes the catch. A diving catch to the 24.
Desmond Howard.
And what a time for your first catch of the game on 3rd and 2 as Dax Lewis goes full extension for the football.
That's a thing of beauty right there, Colin. Well, now, Seattle lines up with a tight press coverage showing pressure.
And Johnson to throw against it, has pressure coming, and he just has to go down in a Gipley do. And I believe Juke and Rukin combining on the sack together.
Seattle just dares them to throw. They oblige, and Seattle puts an end to that threat with a sack.
2nd and 12. Junior, senior to 3rd in the chat, awfully excited. 2-minute warning here from Seattle. Tyrants in front 10-7, but Houston driving.
You're watching.
You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch TV.
Who are you?
I'm Colin Northrup. He's Rick Northrup.
Hello.
Mike Improta is our statistician, and Cameron Irvine is our producer.
Hey, Mikey, he likes it.
Johnson changes the play at the line of scrimmage. It's a quick pass this time out to Murray. He stays in bounds. And they're going to give him the 2 yards he lost on the sack, setting up a 3rd and 10.
So one play for 10 yards.
Got to be smart here. You don't want to make this too hard on your kicker, Jaquan Colgate.
Brush your teeth. Wash your hands.
5 wide receivers, 3 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Johnson to throw. He's going for the bundle. Oh, dear. Sim with a diving catch to the 2-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal, and the doctor is happy about that one.
Absolutely. What a great play.
That was a catch of 22 yards. 1st and goal from the 2. Murray in the I formation. 2nd man through. He gets the touchdown. And Houston is back in front with 1:24 left to go in the first half.
Ooh, near the end of the half score. One of Colin's favorite things for teams to do. Am I right?
You are right indeed. And he ran over Fender right as he got to the goal line. So even then, it wasn't a walk in the park.
It was not. Puts his shoulder down and gives him a little what's what there.
Colgate's extra point to make it a 4-point lead. Is up and through. So now what does the Rick meters?
Well, the Rick meter is excited, and it is now back to neutral and now leaning Houston.
That was a long drive. I forgot.
How long was it?
17 plays long. 93 yards in length, and Warren Murray on a 2-yard rushing touchdown puts Houston in front 14-10.
The Rick meter is impressed.
Colgate's kick to Castle. Comes down around the 10-yard line, and Castle returns up to the 28-yard line.
Yes.
And for Seattle, remember, they elected to kick to start the game. So
They'll receive. Now they'd like to do a double dip and put some points on the board now and get the ball back to start the second half.
quick drop from Louis. Fires down the middle. Tristan Carr has a reception to the 46. Hurry up offense coming.
That's pretty as you please.
Louis Adula has the runner out, throws, and he was looking for Carr again, but that was nearly intercepted. AJ Today Jackson, that's Ashley Jackson, quarterback for the Arizona Scorpions, in the chat. Sends her greetings our way. Thank you very much, Ashley, and all that you do for the league.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Jackson.
Second down and 10 clock stopped with 1:04 to go. 3 timeouts left. Louis Adula fires down the field. Tristan Carr with the catch, and Tristan Carr is going to try to outrun the defender, but he can't. Down to the 10. Ethan Kai thought he had an interception. Let's take a look at it again.
Oh my.
Ethan Kai thought he was going to take the ball away, but nope. The trash man took it out of the air.
Trash man. Is that an official
yes,
moniker?
But it's given lovingly.
Yeah.
It's a term of endearment.
Is there any provenance behind that?
It started when Tristan was the tight end in London.
Nice.
Split back formation, Sandlin. Louis Adula to throw, and down he goes. Clock running now, under 50 seconds to go. Ball to 13. Louis Adula, quick drop again. Fires it out, and Zach Sandlin
really?
loses 2 more yards to the 15.
We have a completed pass for a -2 yards.
Oh, boy. Third down, go from the 15. 43 seconds off 2 timeouts remaining.
The useless color guy comment coming. They have lots of time, but they need
Trips to the bottom
more downs.
at 4 wide in total. Louis Adula, play action fake to Sandlin. Fires it out. He's got him in. Oh, almost. No. That could have been a huge play. Jeffrey Smeltzer down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th and goal, and they call timeout.
Good job by the D to hold him out of the end zone. They may give up a field goal here, but they're still going to have the lead going into the locker room. Are the Hyenas. Sorry.
Tackle made by Brady Clark, as well as number 29, Lennox Jordan. And this is nothing more than the length of an extra point. It's up and good, so Seattle cuts it to a
1-point game. 14-13, the Rick meter takes notice, but is still leaning Houston.
So far, Houston hasn't had that many problems, at least on offense today. Russell Jones to kick off to Leroy Brown. And Leroy Brown up to the 26. So there's still 30 seconds left to imagine Houston with the lead. I just want to run out the rest of this clock. For Seattle's last drive, that was a 7-play, 71-yard drive and an 18-yard field goal by Russell Jones.
Thank you, Mike and Proda, handling the stats for this broadcast.
And that's Johnson to give off to Warren Murray, and Murray slides ahead for 5 yards as the Baltimore Vultures beat down of the New Orleans Pharaohs continues. It's now 31-10 with 3:58 left in the second quarter.
Wait, did you say the second? Oh my gosh. Hey, welcome everybody switching over to our game from the Baltimore-New Orleans game.
As Johnson, he tried to throw but was sacked by Denzel Maverick for the second time. And that'll be the end of the first half. Maverick got a face full of Johnson.
You don't have to call me Johnson.
Halftime here from Seattle, Washington. The Houston Hyenas lead the Seattle Tyrants by 14-13. As we take a look at our first half highlights, you see the numbers. Zach Sandlin, 86 yards. Warren Murray, 49 yards. Neither team turned the ball over. It's only yards in favor of Seattle, but ultimately it's the Houston defense. It will force a couple of field goals that has been able to make the difference. And of course, Brian Harrell with the explosive play, second play from scrimmage. Jock Luyendula also putting in the work. He's 13 of 16 for 171 yards. No touchdowns, but more importantly, no interceptions. Warren Murray, tough slutting down by the goal line. For Jock Luyendula, that right there was a thing of beauty. I thought for sure Ethan Kai was going to intercept that pass, but Tristan Carr ran it down inside the 10. And that set up the second Whistle Jones field goal.
Indeed, that was a pretty please play, as we talked about. Well, let's get ready for the second half. The Rick meter is very happy with this game so far. It is still leaning Houston.
Leaning Houston. Indeed. As Castle returns this up to the 31-yard line. And Seattle will start off with the football.
Well, Seattle's will try to execute the double dip, getting points right at the end of the half, and then returning to the second half with the ball.
Jock Luyendula under center. Takes the 7-step drop, fires down the field. Oh, and Brady Clark almost had an interception.
That was so close to being money. I can't believe it. Great play on both sides of the ball. Ends up falling Houston's way. So they're able to deflect that pass.
Second and 10 from the 31. The Tyrants, they're down by 1 point, 14-13. Opening minutes of the third quarter. Jacqueline Dula under center. Takes a 3-step drop, fires over the middle. Tristan Carr couldn't make the catch in traffic, even though he's 6'7". It was just a bit out in front.
Just a bit outside.
3rd down and 10 for Seattle.
He was 10-2 in the California Penal League.
2 of 5 on 3rd down is Seattle. So far today, they go 5 wide. Jacqueline Dula down the middle,
There it
caught
is.
by Mason Kirby.
Mason Kirby.
His 5th catch on 7 targets for Kirby. His yardage
Get another look at
to
it here.
138 yards. Right over Ethan Kai. Poor guy.
Well executed pass there by Lundula. Where credit's due, am I right? I'm right.
I tell you, Jacques has been on his game a lot today. He's back to throw again. Fires the corner out, caught.
Oh!
Junior's near the 3rd. Will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As he emphatically spikes the ball in the end zone.
It's a good old school spike right there, and nice.
Look at the corner out. And Everett Garrison trying to go for the swat, but he missed. And there was no one behind him, unfortunately, for the defensive back. And Junior Senior the 3rd finds his way to the end zone. It's a 19-14 game pending the extra point.
Well, and Seattle executes that back-to-back scoring play where the only time in the game I absent a turnover, only point in the game where you can do that, where you can have 2 consecutive possessions, is end of the half, beginning of the half, and they do it, Colin.
Russell Jones extra point is something good. So Seattle takes the opening drive down the field, and with 10:10 to go in the 3rd, they're up by 6, 20-14.
Oh, that's just in from headquarters of the Rick meter. The Rick meter is now leaning. See it? How about that?
That was a 45-yard touchdown pass, capping a 4-play, 69-yard drive. Leroy Brown returns it from his goal line, and Brown, cutting up the middle, gets knocked down at his 26-yard line.
Rick meter appreciates the shout out from Mike and Proto. Thank you very much. By the way, the Rick meter headquarters is Ann Arbor, Michigan.
3 wide receivers, a couple of split backs for Kentez Johnson in the gun. He'll take the snap, fire it out. DR Sim with the catch. He gets, oh, that's Brian Harrell. Check that. He has now 96 yards on just 4 receptions. Of course, that 72-yard touchdown reception to open things
Yes, indeed.
has been key for Harrell, and definitely has keyed this club to where they're only down by 6.
Look at Harrell's stats here after this play.
Murray up the middle, slogs ahead for 2 yards, setting up a 3rd down and 3 for Brian Harrell. He's got 3 catches on 4 targets for an average of 30.3 yards per reception for 91 yards.
Yeah, boy.
Mike and Prode on point. Meanwhile, Warren Murray's not on point. In fact, he goes down for a loss of 4 yards. Juke and Rukin making it look easy, beating it the defensive tackle. And the Hyenas will be forced to punt on their first possession of the second half.
A little lump in the throat of the Hyenas here, Colin, as Seattle's shown a couple of good drives back to back, and they're getting the ball again.
Fair catch called for by Castle. And for Jock Luyendula, his numbers have been nothing short of outstanding. 15 of 20, 240 yards, 12 yards per completion. Mason Kirby leads all receivers for Seattle with 7 catches for 148 yards. Of course, that pass goes out to Zach Sandlin. He picks up 3 yards on the catch. And for Sandlin, he's been busy. That's his 3rd catch for 7 yards, but he also has 11 carries for 79. Junior Senior the 3rd, 3 catches for 63 yards and a touchdown.
2nd and 7. Ball at the 37-yard.
Nick Castle, 1 catch for 6 yards. Luyendula back to the rope, pumps, has to go short to Sandlin. Sandlin has to go upfield in a hurry. Does to his own 41. As you see the numbers for both quarterbacks, they've kept the interception column clean, considering that the numbers have been more lopsided toward the INTs and touchdowns. It's been good by both quarterbacks.
That's right. Not that the defense hasn't had a chance with both quarterbacks to make a pick, but
And Zach Sandlin broke 2 tackles. Zach Sandlin's on his way. Only Ethan Kahn can stop him, and he does at the 20. Oh, man. Ethan Kai saved what could have been a long touchdown run to the end zone. We get a look at this one more time.
yes, the touchdown-saving tackle is cold comfort because
Brady Clark just got ran over.
he did, because Sandlin still gets him into the red zone.
Sanchez, the other defensive tackle across from Mike Johnson.
The other guys.
Was the one who initially tried to stop, but just too much power from Sandlin. Welcome in Doug Day to the chat, Vancouver Legion linebacker. Down the middle, Rodney Bonatti, who had a pick 6.
He had a pick right there, and
Had a pick 6 against Arizona.
he had it, and then he lost it.
Against Vancouver, I think, actually. Was
2nd and 10.
Keep searching for that one. I know it's in there, Colin. He had a pick 6 at some point.
2nd and 10. Luyendula gives to Sandlin again. And this time he stopped it to pick up a 2. Look at that average. It's almost 9 yards a carry.
I think the bigger point is he had a chance to dirty up that stat sheet, as you say, and he should have. Instead, he ends up spiking the ball into the turf. And if Seattle puts more points on the board here, that's going to be one of those moments.
Empty shotgun look. 5 wide. Luyendula the throw. Down the middle. First down and more. It'll be 1st and goal. Nick Castle, his 2nd reception.
12 yards on the play.
The man in the high castle,
1st and goal from the 7.
like a boss.
Luyendula under center. 2 tight ends, and again now get to Sandlin on the stretch, and Zach Sandlin tackled at the 2. Bonatti again on the stop. For Houston defensively, Brady Clark has 5 tackles. Jacob Clear has 4. Mike Johnson has a sack. Second and goal from the 2. Offside called. Sandlin up the middle. Will get stopped at the line of scrimmage, so they'll most likely take the penalty.
They'll take the half the distance to the goal and preserve the down. At this point, Houston's trying to do whatever they can to
Number 99.
force them into a field goal.
Easton Johnson was the guy in the carries. There's the man we talked about, Mike. Vance Johnson Trying to get a head start, but when you're
a large boy.
In fact, 340 pounds.
So even a field goal, though, is important here because it'll make it a two-score game. So the die is kind of cast for the Hyenas, unfortunately, here.
3 wide. Give off to Sandlin, and he walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. It's now a couple-score game.
Two-score game, and instead of being a field goal and a touchdown two-score game, it is a full-on 2 touchdown.
Again, running that trap, and poor Rodney Banani. He was in the way. Zach Sandlin went all road grader on him again. Broke yet another tackle.
Yeah, Banani's been center of the action here. That time, can't do anything about it.
Whistle Jones to try the extra point attempt.
He's good.
It's up and through, so we have a 27-14 game with 4:59 left in the third.
This is the part of the point in the game where we like to ask the question, what the heck's going on with the Rick meter? Well, the Rick meter's glad you asked because it just moved to full or solid Seattle Tyrants. How about that?
Full Seattle Tyrants. Well, there's still plenty of time for the Hyenas to try and change the narrative. Leroy Brown breaking tackles, and he gets down to the 26. I see a familiar name in the chat, Gunnar Bear 94. For those uninitiated, that was former London Knights tight end Trevor Farrell.
Welcome, Trevor.
Glad you stopped in. See how things are going in week 12 of season 14. Kentez Johnson trying to make something happen. Fires it out. Knocked away. Looking for Brian Harrell, but Kane Vasquez had other ideas. Harrell, a week 9 signing, taking over for Duke Wilson, the wide receiver position. To the top of the screen, a 4 wide set. They go to the trip side, and Sim, and he said he was out of bounds. And Iverson Gamble pointing that out to Sim. We have a 3rd down and 10 situation. Houston desperately needs to keep the drive alive. Johnson fires deep.
Oh!
It's caught by Sim. 30, 20, 10, all the way down to the 13. I'm sorry, I miscounted. I thought he already crossed the 10-yard line before he was tackled.
In your excitement. What a great play. What a great catch and run.
On the corner out against Gamble, so Sim gets his revenge on the very next play after Gamble does a little scoreboard jocularity.
Well, and of course he's going to get a little ribbing on the sideline as he ends up being caught from behind. That's never a good look for a wide receiver. They never want to be caught from behind. Be that as it may, puts him in the red zone.
Kentez Johnson back to throw, fires it out to Warren Murray, and Murray stiff-armed the man, but picked up 7 yards for his trouble.
That's how you do it.
As you look at the receiver comparison, Kirby has 5 catches for 80 yards. Harrell has 4 catches for 96, so his next catch should theoretically put him over 100. If it's 4 yards or greater. Drop play up the middle, Murray gets stopped at the 4, and this is a critical 3rd down for Houston. They've actually been really good converting 3rd downs, 6 of 11. They picked up 15 first downs in total, and for Murray, That's 47 yards on 15 carries and a touchdown.
They don't want to settle for a field goal here. They got to start scoring touchdowns.
Here is the give to Murray, and he's stopped.
Oh, no.
He needed a yard, and they say he got about a half. Oh, man.
Well, not what they wanted, but they'll take the points. Got to start chipping away at the lead.
Oh, they're not going to take the points. They got the offense on the field.
See, they're going to burn it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
We've seen their defensive line jump before, so this is it's worth a shot here.
Encouraging the suicide by the tyrants, telling them to jump. Jump. And they don't.
Timeout called. That could be big later in this game, as they're now left with two. Coach Damon Simeon giving a little tough love to Kentes.
He only has the best interests of the team in mind.
Big defensive ends held it in, and a field goal attempt by Colgate is up and good from 19 yards. So Houston, it's still a two-score game, but they cut it to 10.
They converted from a 2-touchdown lead. They cut it into a touchdown field goal lead. That's progress. Canadian friends.
2:45 left in the third quarter.
We'll see if the Hyena defense can force another turnover on downs.
Castle on the return, and Nick Castle speeds up the middle to the 29.
Force another punt, excuse me.
I'd imagine the Rick meter still says solid Seattle.
Rick meter does. The Rick meter's going to take notice here of this particular sequence, both for Seattle and Houston. Houston can force a punt or a turnover. We'll go on alert.
Luyendula back to throw, fires it out. A beautiful catch along the sideline by junior senior to third, his fourth of the game. Right past the outstretched arms of the cornerback defending JC3. Perfect placement by Luyendula, as they will split out both of their tight ends, the wide position. Receivers take the inside slot. Sandlin will move it up the middle for a 3-yard pickup. Panani racks up the tackle. And for Rodney, that's his second. He also has a pass deflection. Second down and 7, Luyendula under center. 3-step drop, fires it out to Sandlin, who catches one hand, runs over a linebacker, but can't get through the second one. Sets up a 3rd and 2 at their own 49. This is a critical juncture for this Houston defense. They need a stop in probably the worst way possible. Give to Sandlin again, breaks the tackle, and carries 2 more to the Houston 39 to pick up a first down. There are a couple of things in life you never bet against. U.S. Steel, General Motors, and Zach Sandlin on 3rd and 2.
There we go.
There's Mike Fats Johnson. Quick drop. Tristan Carr dropped the ball. He had the one reception, but he couldn't hang on as the ball was jarred loose by the defender at the last minute. And I suppose another saying is in order about Zach Sandlin. There are three things certain in life: death, taxes, and Zach Sandlin running over people.
There we go.
Sandlin's in the backfield. He'll pass protect for Louis Andula. Fires it out. Jacob Clear knocked it in the air. It was almost picked off by Alex Perez. Third and 10 from the Houston 39-yard line.
This is the stop the Hyenas have been hoping for. Let's see if they can execute.
Come out in a dime 3-2. Louis Andula deep. Oh! Hanging on despite the wicked hit is junior senior the third, who's now close to 100 yards. He has 96 on 5 catches.
How was he not knocked out cold on that? It was a dramatic looking hit in the slow motion. I thought it was live speed. I thought it was helmet to helmet, but got hit in the chest with the shoulder.
That's exactly how you want to play it if you're the defender in terms of hitting or receive. Zach Sandlin on the carry, runs over 2 people, 3 people, and he scores. Oh, things go from
tough to harder.
Yes.
Let's leave it at that, yeah. I mean, there's still a chance, but yikes.
Yowza. Look at this run. Zach Sandlin ran over 3 people in one run. Boom, boom. And he drug Jacob Clear. Zach Sandlin, you are ridiculous. Whistle Jones to try the extra point. I'm wondering the same thing, Ghibli do. What was that camera angle that showed us? It was behind the coach's legs.
Right.
We didn't even see the first guy's tackle that he broke. Gotta take away those Pop-Tarts and Mountain Dew, Rick.
Right, indeed. Well, and that makes it a 3-score lead, 3 possessions, as you know. You like to, the game has to, you have to convert your management down to possessions, managing your possessions, and here near the end of the third.
That was a 21-yard rushing touchdown.
Houston needs 3 possessions, and the defense needs to pitch shutouts on 3 possessions by the Tyrants. So for those of you familiar with the game, that's a long putt for your Houston Hyenas.
15 seconds left in the third. They need a big play from Johnson. He'll throw over the middle, almost intercepted by Slint Shady. Pass intended for number 84. Josh Fed.
So close.
That last, yeah. It was 8 plays, 71 yards. Zach Sandlin, 21-yard rushing touchdown. Second down and 10 for Johnson. 6-step drop, goes long, too long. Pass intended for Harrell. Johnson tried to pull the string, but he pulled it a little too far.
There was something there. They just couldn't make it happen on that play. Seattle's going to have to be on their game. That something like that, or a concept like that's going to be available again if they're not careful.
The Hunting Grounds picks up a Chana defense on 3rd and 10. Johnson, pop wise, has a man. No! The defense knocked it on the air. Harrell was open on the post corner, it looked like for a moment, but at the last minute, throw was knocked away. And Adams once again will be forced to punt. With 4 seconds left in the quarter, this will most likely be the final play. Adams kicks it away. Castle waiting back deep. Trying to make a juke, but to get brought down at his own 36. So after 3/4 of play, the Seattle Tyrants in firm control over the Houston Hyenas 34-17. You're watching the Simulation Football League on Twitch.tv. Back here in the Emerald City here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington. Hometown Tyrants in front of the Houston Hyenas 34-17. So we start the fourth quarter. Jock Luyendula sets his feet, throws, knocked away.
Houston with a neat a bluff or fake as they walk a linebacker up to the line right before the snap. Showing pressure and immediately backs out of it. Might have rattled Luyendula a little bit.
2nd and 10. Ball at the 37-yard.
Especially considering he was taking a 3-step drop on the play.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the defensive line is pretty much in your lap, or any blitzing linebacker. They show blitz all three.
There's your
I think
trap.
they come with. Here's the trap, and Zach Sandlin picks it up to the 49. He is now up to 180 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns on 18 carries.
And watching the production that Seattle's gotten out of that trap play this afternoon, it brings up the question, should they just go full De La Salle and run that play continually until Houston shows an ability to stop it?
There again, they go the quick inside handoff, and they pick up 7 yards.
It was like I was in the huddle.
It's that ISO play. ISO or trap.
Yep.
Those are the 2 plays that we've seen Seattle run with great effect.
Exactly.
2nd and 2.
We'll remind everybody, Colin and I were in Michigan Stadium one Indiana, and they went like 80 yards down the field and ran off left or right tackle the whole time and scored. It was a thing of beauty.
And the throw is complete to Mason Kirby as the referee fell down.
Hope we didn't break a hip.
We'll get a look at it right here. Mason Kirby ran right into him. Oh, my.
It looked like the ref was trying to be careful and not get in the way, manages to mosey himself right in the way.
That's nothing compared to the one game I saw where the ref fell down twice in the same play. As Louisville fires. Ooh, that was dangerous. Jordan knocked that away from junior senior to third. 2nd and 10. And Ghibli Doo telling the ref to move.
Right. Stop being in the way.
Mason Kirby. 8 catches, 162 yards. Throw down the middle is complete to junior senior to third, who gets tackled at the 1 yard line.
Tough to see in the shadow. Thought he might have gotten in, but he's short.
I agree, Rick. That shadow is awfully difficult to see whether he broke the plane, but Everett Garrison saved touchdown for the moment. 1st and goal from the 1. Zexon will pick up his 4th rushing touchdown. They give it to him here. And no, he will not for the moment. In fact, he'll lose yards.
Throwing a different running concept with the stretch play. They get some penetration there and stop him in the backfield.
Looks like that was a power play off to the left, Rick.
Yes.
But to be fair, though, we also seen I've seen them run the stretch play. So
Hard to tell when he got tackled right after the handoff exactly what they were trying
Louis
to
and do it
do.
on the throw up in the end zone. Oh, Tristan Carr almost had the pass, but he dropped it. He dropped it off the ricochet of the Hyena defender, and it's just not been that kind of a day. As Tristan Carr, pass is intended for junior, senior to third. And the camera focused on junior, senior to third, even though Tristan Carr nearly caught the touchdown.
Right. And by the way, is junior, senior the third's dad junior, senior, junior?
I don't know.
And is grandpa junior, senior, senior? I digress.
The sack is by Mike Patch Johnson. That's his second sack.
As Seattle regresses there with another sack, allowing a sack. Well, as they play with a devil may care attitude, and kick a field goal here and pad their lead.
Whistle Jones. He's 2 for 2. Made one of 17. The other one of about 22.
Those of you just tuning in, we ain't just whistling Dixie. It's a big Seattle lead.
And that lead is grown to 37-17. And for Tyrants fans who are also Seattle Seahawks, those last few plays must have given them nightmares. Flashback to Super Bowl 49. Leroy Brown returns it up the middle. Brown gets tackled at the 25-yard line.
Let's see if the Hyena offense can gather themselves here, Colin. With just under 8 minutes to go. In the fourth, they trail 37-17.
Kentez Johnson under center. Warren Murray on the handoff. Picks up first down yardage to the 40. He's now up over 60 yards. He has 65 on 17 carries. Mike and Broder, our statistician. 62 for 17, 3.6 yards a carry, and a touchdown for Warren Murray today. Two tight ends, I formation. Throw out to Murray out of the backfield and can't get much progress up to the, actually lost a yard back to the 38.
Hey, Colin, I want to tell you, you need to follow the SFL on social media. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and more, all at Simulation FL. Make sure you and everybody else catch more content like The Kramer Show, game highlights, and more by subscribing to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a moment of the action.
Warren Murray takes the handoff and Slim Shady delivers the blow, sets up a 3rd and 11. You know, Rick, exciting times. They got the SFL Minor League all set to go a couple weeks from now on April 22nd. They have their 8 teams ready to go. Coaches, players, going to try some new experimental things. As Johnson fires down the field, has Brian Harrell for the first down to the 37, and this time he hangs on to it.
More Harrell. Hey, you know, you're talking about the minor leagues, Colin. I got something to say about that, too. If you're new to the SFL, get your spot in the SFL Minor League, SFLM, today at hashtag Claim Your Spot and begin your SFL career. Subscriptions are going fast. The inaugural kickoff, as you said, begins shortly. First pro subscribers get first priority on choosing their position. So don't you delay, everybody, your career another second. We can't wait for you to hashtag make an impact.
1st and 10 at 37. Kentez Johnson in the gun. Johnson Throws it out to Wiggins, the other tight end, who moves upfield. He got 6 yards.
Say, is there a Mrs. Wiggins? Everybody needs to Google the Carol Burnett show to get that one. Mrs. Wiggins.
Clock winding under 6 minutes to go now.
If you're not familiar with the work of Tim Conway and Carol Burnett, you soon will be.
Warren Murray on the carry. Broke a tackle. He picked up 3. They'll set up a 3rd and 1 at their own 27. There's Z.K. Vincent. He's been awfully quiet, but his defensive teammates have been putting in a hard work. Here's Warren Murray on a power play. Waits his way through traffic. Picks up a 1st down at the 13.
Nice. Nice. Very nice, young man.
Alistair John.
Oh! Nice little dipsy-do there. Sorry, I cut you off, Alistair Johnson.
No, that was Zane Michaels, the other guard who was pulling, who was more or less cannon fodder as he was shoved out of the way, but he led just enough of the way for Murray to get clear.
Indeed, your humble broadcast team absolutely adores the pulling guard.
Murray picks up 1, only 2nd and 9, and we see the hurry up. Johnson getting things set. Quick drop. Has to move in the pocket, fires it out to Sim. They got yard to the 11. Set up a 3rd and 8. Johnson in the empty shotgun trips to the bottom. 3rd down and 8. They need to get inside the 5 for a 1st down. They go for the bundle, and it's to the goal line. Harrell is stopped.
Did they place the ball on the goal line? Isn't that technically a touchdown?
Johnson throws. Oh, that could have been real dangerous, but it gives him an opportunity to reset into something a little more sensible. Slim Shady knocks it away.
Nearly gives away the whole drive by throwing a pick on the goal line. Where is the QB sneak, Colin? I ask you. I beg of you.
Now they go split backs, 2 tight ends. DR Sim is the only receiver. And they're going to throw to the end zone, intercepted. Looking for the tight end over the middle, and Kane Vasquez snatched it out of the air.
It's to the hyena's ears. Sorry about that.
Oh, man.
Just not.
He tried to loft it over the over Kane, but alas, no luck.
Both your humble broadcaster and the Rick meter are unimpressed with goal line offensive play calling.
Sandlin gets it up the middle. He lost a yard to the 19, but the clock is now winding under 4 minutes to go. It's Aiden Davis, Houston native. Spent his rookie year for his hometown team. Is in the chat. Welcome, sir.
Well, and even Denver, the service dog, who made the trip with us out to the Emerald City, was upset about that goal line sequence for the Hyenas, as he's now agitated here in the booth.
Zach Sandlin on the carry. Leads his way through traffic, picks up yardage to the 28. You know, for Sandlin, it's just been another day at the office.
Heck of an office that guy's got.
23 carries.
What?
Excuse me.
What was that? Holy smoke. Are you okay? Did you get any on you?
Nope, I didn't get any on me. At 23 carries, 192 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns for Zach Sandlin. Thanks, Mike and Proto, for keeping track of the numbers and making us sound smart.
More importantly, the equipment. You didn't get anything on the equipment. Oh!
Here's the give up the middle, and first down yardage for Sandlin. We wind closer and closer to the 2-minute warning.
How close are we?
We're 26 seconds and counting. But they'll still have to get one play off.
Indeed.
Because there's about a 6-second difference between the game play clock and game clock. Give up the middle to Sandlin. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. With that last carry, last positive carry, he's actually up over 200 yards, 7.8 yard carry. Here it's a 2-minute warning. Here in Seattle, you're watching the SFL on Twitch. Second and 10. Sandlin up the middle. We'll get stopped for lots of one, and Houston has to burn their second timeout. Correction, that was Easton Johnson. It appears the backups are in, and Brad Combs is at quarterback for Seattle. Give off to Easton Johnson. He gets stopped. 8 yards short of the mark with 1:53 left. Houston has extinguished all of their remaining timeouts. Punt is away, fielded by Brown up the middle. As we get a look at the playoff picture, 1 and 2 seeds are firmly locked up, but you see all the traffic at the bottom. Baltimore, Charleston, and Jacksonville, and Sioux Falls, all with a 7-4 record, although it looks like Baltimore will move to 8 wins. And you look at numbers 7 through 9, as well as 10. 9, 10 through 14, they're all 5 and 6. I hate to be the commissioner going through those tiebreakers.
You know what, though? You're going to be the Hyenas. You got a first down.
You have first down yardage up to the 42. Johnson now set. Will throw. The post corner.
Oh!
Sim
No.
couldn't hang on. It was knocked away by the defensive back, Colin Kerr, number 22, as the backups are getting some playing time for the Tyrants.
Houston just trying to work out the kinks here in the waning moments of this game. Find themselves down by 20, but they can still work on their execution and try and set themselves up for next weekend.
That pass was incomplete. Denzel Maverick applying the pressure.
Next weekend.
You said next weekend,
I know.
but I was slow and correct. I'm sorry. There is no next week. Try to give up.
There's no next weekend for Houston. This is it. Sorry about that.
Johnson back to throw. Fires down the middle. And a middle. And that's DR Sim down to the 34. And for Sim, he's now up to 94 yards on just 4 receptions. Johnson In the gun, fires, slant, caught. First down, Sim again.
2 great back-to-back pass plays.
Clock winding under a minute to go. Ball on the Tyrant 22. Everybody gets set. For Houston, the throw over the middle to Leroy Brown is knocked away by Mahmoud Ajalani. And Leroy Brown was beset with a case of the dropsy, thanks to the defender. Mahmoud is the nickelback normally, and has now moved up to the free safety spot.
You said nickelback.
Kentez Johnson, 322 yards on 38 attempts, 23 completions, a touchdown, and a pick. Throws it out to Murray, and Murray has to get out of bounds. He gets 6 yards.
Hey, Colin, you're talking about the playoffs, so make sure you download the ScoreStream app and follow your favorite team for live scoring updates. When you aren't able to catch a game live, you can follow just your team or the entire league, First Esport League, on the app. So as the playoffs are set to kick off shortly, make sure you got that so you can keep up on all the action.
4 wide, 3rd down and 4, clock stop, 48 seconds left. Johnson going to the sideline. Oh, that hurt. And he hops in frustration because he probably could have had that one.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Not a bad day for Harrell, though. 1 receiving touchdown, over 100 yards.
And as we're in under a minute, I just want to give a shout out to the commissioner, Cameron Irvine. It's been a great regular season so far, and he is one busy man, passionate about the league, and we appreciate everything that he does.
Slant cut to Sim. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5, and they'll line up to spike the ball. With 33 seconds left, it'll be 2nd and goal. Second and goal from the 5. Empty shotgun. Johnson has to be careful. He threw threw an interception last time.
Oh, man.
He threw it down in this area. Goes for the end zone. Knocked away. But there was no one there. Well, actually there was. It's just DR Sim, I think, ran out of the back of the end zone. 3rd and goal from the 5. Now they go 5 wide this time. Johnson, slant touchdown!
Hey.
Barry Bergen!
Well, what do you know? There's a drive and points. This will shape the final score to make it look a little better for the Hyenas. Hyenas are going to have some things to work on in the offseason.
Colgate's extra point is up and good. So they'll get some practice with the onside kick here.
Hey, Hike the Earth, thanks for the shout out. And yeah, thanks to Mikey and Proda. Making us look smart.
Onside kick coming.
Yeah, Proda.
And the onside kick bouncing around. I think Houston got it. So hold the phone, folks. I don't think it's quite over yet.
Not dead yet.
Josh Fett got the ball.
Well, can they somehow manufacture at least 13 points in the waning seconds? Here we go.
Ball's on their own 41-yard line.
The successful onside kick interrupted my shout out to Mike and Proda. We definitely do need to call a Chicago Wildcats game. We've been, I think we're uninitiated in terms of calling them, Colin.
At least so far this year. Leroy Brown on the slant cut. Clock running under 20 to go. Johnson spikes it with 12. Ball on the Tyrant 47.
Pardon me. Well, some good-looking offensive series and plays here for the Hyenas in the last couple of minutes, Colin.
And it looks like they're going to try the Hail Mary from the 47. Johnson has protection, but he was just about to get it off, but Ghibli-Doo came around the corner.
Ghibli-Doo right there.
Too quick, and they'll get one more shot at it, 3rd and 10 from the 47. DR Sim caught a Hail Mary attempt a couple weeks ago against Vancouver, and a half. Can he get one to end the game?
Oh!
No, he cannot. Johnson is sacked.
That's it, Colin.
And the Seattle Tyrants beat the Houston Hyenas 37-24. And Rick, as we take a look at the stats,
Wow.
533 total yards.
Amazing.
Time of possession.
Yeah, TOP and total yardage. So we start looking a serial view of the scoring highlights here, Colin.
There's junior senior to third. That long touchdown reception. And, Zach Sandlin, he's doing Zach Sandlin things.
Wow, they had him in the backfield there, Colin, and he just kind of stepped through the tackle.
And for both of these teams, they can go to the offseason knowing that they've done some things well in this game that hopefully they can carry forth into season 15.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about them, turning their attention to next season, and they've got some good parts, Colin, and some good concepts, but they might be a couple players short on both sides of the ball, those Houston Hyenas, and I know they'll get to work addressing those needs shortly.
Whistle Jones made 3 field goal attempts. This was the backbreaker right here. This interception by Kane Vasquez. Coming up next at 4 o'clock on 11 in FTF, we have London at Chicago. That's a big game for the Wildcats in terms of playoff implications. They're one of those 5-6 teams sitting there looking to get to 6-6, but they need some help in the tiebreak.
Right.
Player,
there's a huge logjam at 5-6.
and the play of the game is Zach Sandlin. Over 200 yards, total offense, 3 rushing touchdowns on 26 carries, 202 yards, also 9 receiving yards. Congratulations to the Sandman. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got games all weekend long here in the Simulation Football League. I'm Colin Northrop. He's Rick Northrop.
Yep.
Mike and Proto was on stats. Cameron Irvine producing. Have a good day, everyone.